Now I'm going to introduce a very lovely lady. Charles has written over 10 roles especially for this next presenter. He has said that she is his muse, and she is thrilled to be here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Julie Halston.
Thrilled to be here. First of all, I think Shay is our new mama. She's our new Ellen Stewart. I would like to acknowledge someone who is here who actually is one of the really big inspirations for Charles Busch, since we are celebrating Charles Busch. Bina Sharif, where are you? Bina Sharif. Bina Sharif is a phenomenal performance artist that Charles has known for many years, and it was through her work that inspired him to say, hey, I think I'm going to do something in the Limbo Lounge, which was basically a crack dance, sort of, on the Lower East Side. But it really is amazing, and hearing your trajectory, do you love that word? I love that word, trajectory. It is so amazing, because, honestly, Charles really is one of those touchstones. We had a mutual friend. I went to college with a guy named Bobby Cohen, who's now known as Bobby Ducharme. Please don't ask. Anyway, he knew him and I knew him, and I've been hearing about Charles Busch for a long time, and he'd been hearing about me for a long time, and we did not want to meet each other. I was like, I don't need another gay man in my life. And he doesn't need a loud, obnoxious blonde in his life. Anyway, I was doing a really terrible act in San Francisco. No, it was the worst act in the history of acts. And Charles Busch actually caught it. And it was bad, but I did wear a very, very svelte and interesting white jumpsuit, and I had a Sassoon cut, so I think he talked to me because of that. But here's the thing. He asked me to come see his one-man show. It was in 1983. It was at Shondell Theater, which was rat-infested. Rat-infested! And I went. And this is what I remember. I remember sitting there and falling in love. You know, when you fall in love with someone, it's either sexual or emotional or your head explodes. It's just like when your head explodes. My head exploded. I didn't know who this guy was. I didn't know a thing about him. I thought he was a little diffident and rude, honestly. Because he didn't adore me at sight. I saw his one-man show. And I'm really dumb about a lot of things. I can't drive well. I'm a menace on the road, actually. I can't do math. But the one thing I'm so grateful for is that I knew this guy is a genius. I knew it immediately, and I knew I was going to get on that guy's train if it was the last thing I did. I was a loser, and I wasn't going to be a loser anymore. And let me tell you something. I was a loser. I couldn't act. I couldn't do math. I couldn't set my hair well. But I knew talent. That was my one gift. I knew who was talented. And boy, was that guy talented. He just blew me away. And I didn't care what was going to happen to me. I didn't know if I was going to lose my job on Wall Street. I was on Wall Street. Hello. Terrifying. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. But you know what happens. When you fall in love with someone, you just go. And sometimes it's really dangerous and weird and you don't know what's going to happen, but you know you have to do it. Just like Shay had to do it. She could have been kicked out of, well, Utah, which would not have been bad. But she really had high stakes. And that's how I felt about Charles Busch. And here's the other thing. I fell in love with someone who was very, very talented in 1983. It's now 2011, and he is one of this city's, one of our country's greatest playwrights. No one can do what Charles does. And let me tell you, I know everyone in this city. I know everyone! I didn't sleep with you. No one does what Charles does. No one. Pitch perfect parodies. Phenomenal topical drama comedies. And the acting. No one can act like Charles Busch. No one. Bar none. No one has the nuance. No one has the beauty. No one has the flamboyant nuance. He writes, he directs, he performs. No one in this city, and believe me, I searched my brain this afternoon. I was really thinking, you know, what about this one? What about this one? You know, I know every gay man in this city. No one does what Charles Busch does. He is an original. He is a brilliant, brilliant original. And you know, we all know a lot of talented people, but we don't know that many brilliant originals. Really? Think about it. I am so proud to present this how about that? To prevent the Luminary Award. Look how I just said that. I'm going to prevent it. I am so happy to present to my dear friend, on behalf of the New York Innovative Theater Awards and your peers in the off-Broadway community, I am pleased and very, very honored to present the 2011 Luminary Award to the great Charles Busch.
Something, Julie. I'm so grateful to have this award and all the trouble that the Innovative Theater has gone to. I mean, having a parade and fireworks in my honor yesterday. I'm just so deeply humbled. Oh my, Julie. Yeah, she is, my muse, and we've, I don't know if we're in the Guinness Book of Records, how many times the playwright has written for one person, and maybe we can just say it. I mean, is he here? I have to say, about a year and a half ago, I was working on 3 different parts for Julie. One was for the Divine Sister, one was in this new play, and then there was another project that didn't happen. And I finally, I said to her, I'm really going a little crazy here, writing all these parts to you. And it's, I don't mean to be disparaging, but there's a certain limit to how many different variations of your three colors. Actually, her charms are infinite, and she's. We don't really get a chance to really talk about each other in public like this. So if I can just continue a little bit about her, she, we've done all these plays, and I'm very proud that I think, I worked with her in developing this fabulous comic persona, and then she took it to a whole another place with her own work and her own one-woman shows and then parts in other people's plays, and then about. Now, to tell the story first, how many of you out there are familiar with the movie Stella Dallas? Okay, all right, the story will make sense then. Well, I don't know, about a year and a half ago or so, Julie was working on the play, the one-woman show Miss Margarita's Way, and she was doing a one-night reading of it at New York Theater Workshop. And I really wanted so badly to be there, but I'd committed to performing at a benefit that same night. So she said, "Oh, don't worry, we'll just keep the door open so you can just slip in later." So I managed to be the first one on stage at the benefit, and I finished, got in a taxi, and I'm racing down to New York Theater Workshop, and I get there, and it's I'm about 5 minutes late, and the doors are locked, and I was banging on the doors, and nobody could hear me, and I went down trying to jimmy the window to see if, and I couldn't. Finally, I just was just put my ear to the door, and I could hear the applause when she entered, and then I couldn't hear the dialogue, but I could hear all the laughs. She got that laugh, yes. She got the first laugh. She got the second laugh. She got, hear that, and it started to rain. And I was shivering in the rain, and I had no umbrella, and I just listening to the laughter, and then finally after about a half hour, I just stood up so proud, and I walked down the street just proud that somehow in my little way I'd helped her. It was Stella Dallas. It was totally the end of Stella Dallas. All right. Enough about you, Julie. Now, I guess, those of you who gave me this award shows me, I guess you would think that I'm this real driven person who just had to, has a vision and has to get it done. And those, I have a whole group of people here who know me, and I think the word they would mostly use would be, to describe me would be lethargic. But I'm very energized lethargy. And I spend most of my time lying down. But when I lie down, I dream. And I have many ideas. I have a different idea, really just about every day, a different idea for a role I'd like to play, or a movie genre that I'd like to write about, or characters or a story. And but then I just lie down. I'm just prone. But the thing that's been so great all my life, I'm so lucky, really, is that all my life there have been a series of people who have somehow been attracted to me and my dreams, and each of these people have been so focused and energetic and had their own creativity that then made my idea better. So it really, all my life, I was raised by my aunt, who was this remarkable woman, and she was that person. And I'm married to a fellow, Eric Myers, who is that person too. I mean, he's very, he gets things done. And then I've had in my career a whole series of I've worked with very few people, really. I've worked with only a couple directors for the past 35 years. And each of them were people who took, latched onto a little idea of mine and then made it happen and made it better. Ken Elliott, and who did so many plays that you saw up there. And then for the past 15 years, an extraordinary young man, Carl Andrews. fantasy or some sort of dream, he's the go-to man because he makes it happen. He really does. You know, Julie and I, we were just, you know, in our lethargy for years talking about what we wanted to have one night on Broadway, one night, and next thing you know, Carl said, I had it all set up, we're doing a benefit for the Actors Fund at the Music Box Theater, and he made it happen, and it was one of the greatest nights of our lives. Right? So, you know, so that's the thing where I've just been so fortunate to have these people who just have taken an idea and then made it a reality. The other thing, you know, I recently got this machine that can transfer VHS tapes to DVDs. So I have all these. I just had about 75 VHS tapes of my whole career. So I've been, you know, going down memory lane, watching all this stuff, and I have to say, I'm going to really tap myself on the back here that I've gotten better. I really have. I've gotten better, and I think that's a wonderful thing. And I have to say, I'm really proud of that. Even, you know, the last performance of The Divine Sister, 9 months into the run, I was better than I was 6 months before that, and better than I was 3 months before that. You know, and so I think that's just so important. I mean, I thought I was going to make the speech to a lot of very young people, but you're not so young. Oh, yeah. But yeah, one very important thing, those of you who are young or who are, you know, at the beginning of your journeys, for every little success I've had an egregious failure. You know, and going down memory lane, watching all these DVDs, and, oh my God, you know. But they really, I have to say, when I fail, it's kind of fabulous. Really, you know, fail big. You know, totally misguided. You know, what possessed you? You know, but for every one of my failures, it literally, if I hadn't had that failure, I wouldn't have done the next thing that actually worked out. It really is completely connected. So all I want to say to all of you in the theater is that I hope everything you touch is a success. But that's not going to be. So I just hope that you have spectacular, fabulous, audacious failures. And I hope that those failures then will lead you to something truly extraordinary. Thank you so very much.